Habits stay with you even when you don't have the motivation. My friends, that is so true. It's that way with your workouts, with your meals, with anything that is worthwhile in your life. Habits stay with you even when you don't have the motivation. Every day I just get out there and do it. It should be the same with your trading. Each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, you do not go to bed until you've done the work, period. There are no excuses ever. Okay, if you're coughing up blood, which has actually happened to me a few times on the show, and you absolutely just cannot sit at a desk and do it, yes. And those of you who've been with me, you know I've suffered some bad lung issues over the last 10 years we've been doing this show. I've only missed the show, I think, 3 times. One was when I had the Delta COVID. That was bad. One was when I literally was coughing up blood with pneumonia. And I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Maybe I was stuck at sea. You guys know I like to go on sea voyages and just did not have the internet, didn't have the Starlink with me. Well, it's with me all the time now. So we almost never miss it, even when we're out cruising. Now let's jump into these charts. Everything is down for the day except for 20-year U.S. government bonds. Now, here's an interesting fact for all of you. S&P 500, of course, you guys know we analyze it on a weekly basis. In fact, we go through it every single day. But toward the end of the week for our Patreon members, we look to give them up to 20 weekly vertical crossovers. That is where charts are going from red to green, or they're going from green to red, that is going bottoming out and going up, or topping out and going down. We look for 20 good weekly vertical crossovers. Sometimes we have up to 20, sometimes a lot less. It just depends on what the market's up to. But it's always interesting to keep up with that percentage because it gives you an idea as to how many stocks are bottoming, how many are topping. And right now, we have 64.5% are topping and going down just today. 35.5% are bottoming and trying to move up. That is on this weekly chart. So again, we've got a lot of push down. You, of course, see it going into the third week of down movement on the S&P 500. You can see that we're okay today as far as the volume goes. We're about halfway there on the 2-day, first day of the latest 2-day candle. Look at all that movement down in the morning. Didn't even have average volume, but had lots of movement. Moved up, saved it up a little bit in the afternoon, but overall the S&P down 1.14%. So, of course, we are in a confirmed downtrend on the S&P. No Santa Claus rally. Sorry about that. Did not happen. And we will continue to keep an eye on this market as, of course, very quickly we move into the new year. Look at the NASDAQ 100. These are the tech stocks. What are they doing? Well, we have watched them peter out also. Just going into the red for the first time this week. Remember, S&P, third red weekly candle. NASDAQ, tech stocks, first red down candle. Have a down candle first day on the latest 2-day, about halfway there as far as volume goes. And again, a big plunge down in the morning. And look at that average volume and up even higher in the afternoon. As again, it saved some of that plunge. Didn't go as low in the afternoon. But again, overall down 1.33%. This is important, guys. S&P and NASDAQ really starting to pull back on us, going negative. And perhaps the volume's decreasing again. These are short market weeks. So we'll see as we spring into the new year. Now, let's take a look at what's up with 20-year U.S. government bonds. They bounced up some for the day, 0.80%. But again, we look at the half-day chart, and they're just sort of hanging along on the bottom here. They are in a confirmed down move. Again, this week so far, not making the low of last week. But as we look at the 2-day candle, there's hardly anything to see there. It's just a tiny little little candle. So we'll keep an eye on that, but we see in the morning up, not as far up in the afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on 20-year U.S. government bonds, see if they're bottoming out at this point and getting ready to move up. What about gold? Well, gold has been tracking slowly but surely down. It was down for the day 0.32%. And I was looking at gold miners. I was checking them out, GDX. I always like to look at gold miners, just see what they are doing. And of course, you can see they've been down the last 3 weeks, punching down. Now, again, not a lot of volume last week. Average volume there mid-month. But again, as we look at things, again, we can see gold miners. I just always like to compare gold miners to gold. I also, when I'm looking at gold, I also like to look at SLV, which is silver, and just sort of see what it's doing. Sort of the same thing. A lot of times they are. If they're not, it raises questions in my mind. It might be a portent of some changes coming, but looks like everything is dragging. So we'll continue to keep our eye on gold as it continues to move down. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin down for the day 0.24%. We got a little green up candle at the end of the day. And as I look back on over the last few weeks, whenever we see green on this half-day chart, we tend to see green for a while. My friends, I'm wondering if that's a clue we need to take. It's also when you see red, you tend to see red for a while. Does that give us information on this half-day chart? Because you really don't see it here on the 2-day chart, and you darn sure don't see it on the weekly chart, but we do see it on the 195-minute chart. Isn't that interesting? Is that something we should pay attention to? Is that something that might help us? Well, you know what? We're going to track this, and we're going to see if jumping in this afternoon for a little short ride on the 195-minute chart might be something that might pay us some dividends in the future. I don't know. But as I look back over the last few weeks and I start thinking about using what? An average true range in here to maybe take some profits, to jump in and ride down or up. Because remember, we have BITI, which is what? That is the Bitcoin Pro Shares short. That's interesting, isn't it? And if you look at it, it's there's a little bit of a spread there, but it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Again, something for you to pay attention to. So again, with the volatility you see in Bitcoin, there's going to be a little bit of a spread. You don't want a big, big spread. But of course, look at what the spread is here on HODL right now. 103.50, 117. Whoo! That is quite a spread, quite a volatility that you see in there. So again, we'll pay close attention to these charts as they continue to move along, but it is so interesting to see this bit of a pullback. So that is where we are, my friends, as we end the day on Monday, shortened trading week this week. We will pay close attention to these charts as they continue to move forward. Hey, I always love to have your questions, problems, and concerns. Again, the book sent out to the Patreon members. If you would like a copy of the book, here's how you get it. You become a Patreon member at any of the 3 levels of support, and I will email you a copy of the book. In addition to that, guess what you get for free? You get Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way, the 3-part series that helps you get your feet wet in options so you can start practice trading them. So it's a twofer. You can't beat it, and you get to underwrite what we do here at the channel. There are costs involved in me bringing this show to you each and every day for free. And the folks that really appreciate us, they support us because the things you support tend to stay around. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.